But that's the kind of thing we're seeing as a Polish list. Alex Bundock has also been doing it in V3 very successfully. And you've also got that long range, threat with the Bofors as well. So yeah, Polish players, if you're wondering about what a decent Polish list looks like, that is a decent Polish list.
That is an example of it. Yeah.
It's the other thing with that list. 5 of the 7 tanks got recce.
Yeah.
So he's doing. He's throwing so many armored units at you. You've only got certain weapons that can kill them.
Yeah.
And these tanks are pretty cheap. So you fire off your medium anti-tank on it, and you just recce away. And they are
this tall, which means you can get hard cover so easily with those tanks.
He puts him in ambush as well. He's clever at that. So he's running the list very well at the moment. The reason for the two, what I like is the second rifle section, and that's not, how can I make this list perfect? I've got to look at the missions. I need to be able to take objectives and hold them. So I'm going to take these guys who can sit there, and they haven't got an LMG. They've got the bar instead, so they can put pins out. It's a very well thought out list that he's been practicing a lot, and I think he could do very well with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again,
for me as well, I would want there to be like one more unit of cavalry at least, but yeah, it is a very, very well thought out list, and I like the different tools because it's one of the things that most Polish lists sort of in the old times didn't have, right?
Yeah.
But this has got very many different elements to it. Yeah.
And the other thing it does, don't forget that the Poles have fieldcraft on turn 1.
Yes.
So all those cavalry that you think are only going to be, they can move 9 inches through terrain. 18 inches.
18. Yeah.
So you're sitting there thinking you're okay, and suddenly your infiltrators have just been charged.
Yeah.
So he uses that very well. He's definitely a threat, and I think he'll get quite a few wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we do a British list, a US list, and then we'll finish on Russ, and we'll understand why he's dressed the way he is.
Let's do that. So going
British,
to the Brits, what are we seeing, and where should we go and have a look?
So Mike Smith, which is
Mike Smith. I'll get that for you.
And that's done by Mike rather than Smith because I didn't rename it. So that's done by his first name. But yeah, Mike Smith for a British list. What are we seeing? He's not attending, but let's pull. He pulled out at the last minute, but let's pull up his list anyway, just because it's a good example.
Here we go. 17 order dice. Platoon commander with extra officers and SMGs. Okay.
I know.
Inexperienced. Home guard section, 10 men, four of them unarmed, and a submachine gun. Okay, that's for taking objectives or something like that.
It's for close combat.
Or close combat, yeah.
I know what he's doing there.
Yeah, and he's got 2 of those. I mean, he might just run them at people and charge. Yeah. He's got 3 of those. Yeah. Wow.
Keep going.
Artillery platoon, platoon commander, inexperienced with a pistol, Bofors, double heavy autocannon, land mattress, because of course you do now, you get it. Yeah. The 25-pounder, guards, as you said, right? Mm-hmm. And a recce platoon here with, again, an officer, inexperienced, with 3 extra guys, with submachine guns. I am looking to see where all his transports are, because I think they might be coming here in this section. Air landing rifle section with double submachine gun, and they are regulars. Another air landing section, double submachine gun, regulars. And here we got them, the M5 half tracks, 12-man capacity. He's got 2 of those. I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy that heavy machine gun on my half tracks.
Yeah,
it's great fun.
Yeah.
And Phil on both of those.
Phil loves a HMG.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Reiki on both of those, so he can sort of get away if he needs to, and he can stuff his officers in there as well. Yeah. Armored platoon Chaffee, nice. Yep, because the Brits now have access to the Chaffee, which is a really good tank hunter in my opinion. The light tank Mark whatever that is, VIC.
Mark 6C.
Mark 6C.
Yeah. That for me is also a great choice for the Brits. 85 points to get that light autocannon, and it's got it's got tracks, right?
It looks great as well. On
Yeah.
the Tanfor.
And he brings 2 of those. Yeah.
So you've got on the Bofors and the 25-pounder, all 3 of which will be not in cover necessarily, and certainly will have to be visible. They're all guards, so they're going to attract fire, but they've also got the guards rules, so they can clear the pins. Mike likes to play up close and personal, which is why you've got a lot of SMGs around.
Yeah.
The home guard is really interesting. When we were playtesting this before GB came out, we started doing the maths around the home guard. The home guard are lethal in close combat. You drop a bunch of 10 guys in close combat with the new British rules, where you're obviously rolling 1 extra dice per 3. You throw some SMGs in that squad, at least 1, because the extra dice, the wording in the book is that the extra dice can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's statistically, the home guard are very difficult to shift, even when they're assaulted by regular or veterans, tough fighters, if they're in defended positions. So if you can drop them onto objectives, they are very, very difficult to shift. And obviously they're very cheap as well. Their bang for bucks ratio is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 64 points for 10 guys. It's just very, very cheap.
Yes.
Can I just mention the Chaffee as well? Because I think the Chaffee's not.
Yeah.
So it's a fast tank. And what it actually is really good as a chariot, because you can now pivot once on the run order. And we've confirmed that means also on a charge order you can pivot once. So this thing can move 24 inches and it can tank shock stuff. And if you set it up right, it's particularly good against artillery, because it'll just run over the artillery and kill it. So I've done that a few times in lists I've run, and
it is glorious when you do tank bowling like that, where you just
pull it off,
kill 4 or 5 units in one go.
Yeah, it can happen.
So again, with Mike's list, it's not like the out and out sort of meta identikit British list, but it's got elements of things that we're seeing in terms of making use of the guards rule, things like the Chaffee, the 6C. I do like the use of the home guards, even if it is very cheesy, but the GT's a full on competitive event, so cheese away kind of thing. It's a tidy little list. It's a shame he's not going, because again, Mike's a very good player, been around a while, experienced the WTC and all that sort of stuff. So he is somebody who we would have thought would have been right up there at the end of the weekend had he been there. So cool. So let's go for Jacob Wright as a good example of the mechanized infantry US lists. And I know, Bo, one of your recent videos, or very recent videos, you talked about this trend towards mechanized infantry. Jacob's list is leaning into that. It's very similar to mine, which is why we don't need to go through mine. We can jump to Wes's after this.
It's a carbon copy.
Oh, really?
It's not quite. I'll tell you the difference when we get to it. But yeah.
Right. Okay. So 18 order dice, high order dice count, inexperienced officer with a rifle, U.S. Marines, double BAR. Okay, interesting. Veterans, 7 guys. Pretty hard to shift. They can push a bit. He brings 2 of those. And the white scout car. Because, of course, obvious choice. 2 of those for the veterans, so they can be pushed up. Engineer platoon with a platoon commander, inexperienced. Again, we have the engineers here, 5 dudes, veteran, as you guys talked about. He could have saved points, made them regulars, but I think he wants them to go when he needs them to go and maybe survive after the retaliation comes in. 2 of those, and then a couple of flamethrower teams, I'm guessing. 1, 2. Yeah. So he can double up. So basically, they can double team in some sort of transport if they want to, or they can go in their separate jeeps, and he does buy the jeeps for those. And white scout cars for the engineers, so they can take officers with them and snap 2, and then both the car and the engineers can go and kill stuff. Armored platoon. Oh, the darker Stuart. I thought it was gone.
No, it still exists.
It still exists. 1, 2 of those. Yep. Wreckage jeep. This one is an interesting one. HMG on top of that.
Yes.
And he brings 2 of those. Interesting.
Everything's in pairs, if you know.
Yep. Everything in pairs. Yep.
Yeah. All the vehicles can pin armored vehicles unless they're veteran. So with the recent the change with the Recce Jeep being able to upgrade to an HMG. That's a big difference. All 4 squads are mobile. So he's got 4 scout cars, 4 squads. They're all veteran. He can get anywhere he needs to. The flamethrowers in the Jeeps as an additional threat. I tried sort of the whole flamethrower in the Jeep at the start of E3. The fact that they're running out just makes that unit useless, which is why if I take engineers, I'll have the flamethrower within the engineer squad. But it does give him, effectively 4 flamethrowers that he can threaten around the table with. And the Daka Stewart, it's still good. It's still good. So I've gone I've lent in even more. So I've got 4 engineers and 4 scout cars.
Wow.
I have the minimal amount of infantry in the rifle platoon. But I've taken the MPs because I want that ability to make sure they come on. And my no tank list, I have an armored list, but it's no tanks. So I've got 2 M16 GMCs for the 12 HMG shots, and the M6 Fargo, the GMC Fargo, which is the light light AT on a soft skin. It's 65 points. Everyone laughs at it. If it blows up your tank, it's done its job. And if you stick it in reserve, especially with 12-inch deployment zones on the side, you stick it in reserve combined with the
and just wait,
military police.
See if you could get that side shot or something.
Wait. All they need to do is to take out one vehicle, either a tank or dismount a transport with a bunch of vets inside, and it's done its job. So Jake and I have played together a few times over the last year, and we've got a similar idea here about the guys in transports. The scout cars are amazing because they've got HMGs on. You're pinning stuff all the time, and then it's just how do you flavor it? Do you take Stewarts? Do you take other vehicles, Chaffies, whatever it is? So.
Right. Okay. So that's also very, very interesting. Again, one list that I think is it would be difficult to improve on that list. It's a very, very good, very competitive list for me as well. Yeah.
Good.
He's done a couple of things with the bars because he's got 5 rifles and 2 bars, and there's a little bit of balance that I think he could have tweaked on. And made adjustments. But with that said, it's still a very good list.
I'm going to shut up now, Russ, because this explains why you're dressed as you are.
You should talk through it.
Here we go. Yeah, you should, Phil.
Okay, fair enough.
So
it is themed.
Right.
Yeah, it is themed. Okay. So 18 order dice, 1250. We start them with a regular platoon commander who's Marines with 5 extra guys. So we've got a 6-man regular Marine squad, with all of whom have got SMGs. So that's a 6-man SMG squad as a platoon commander. We've got the INR squad, so you can take 2 of these in any list. The cheapest you can go is 28 points. I've got one of those to make my rifle platoon legal. So Russ has gone 1 in experience, 1 regular. Russ, what's with the NCO SMG on the regular one? Because I use mine purely to make my list legal.
Right.
They're 4 inexperienced rifle guys for me.
That INR can get a little bit closer if it needs to. Okay. And I still get the +1 shot for 3 rifles.
Okay.
So, and I just had a few points, and I was like, well, where should I put them? I'm like, you know what? I'll do that. Because I did consider just going 28 points on it. And putting the other 16 points in. But I've tested it, and it's quite useful having something a little bit more survivable.
Okay, cool. Then we get on to Air Observer number 1. So 3 men regular with rifles, 97 points.
Cheeky. Notice this, right? It's a 3-man infiltrator.
Yeah.
So it's survivable because it's the 3-man. I took double Air Observers to the Welsh Nationals, but they were both on their own. And the 2 games I lost was because I lost my Air Observers very early on, and I regretted taking them on their own. So, and then you got M2 half track for transport that will come in use later on. Platoon 2. So we've got the similar. We've got a 7-man platoon commander squad this time, all with SMGs. We've got glider machine gun squad. So this is just a 4-man squad, basic level with an LMG. So you can we've got 2 of those. So you can sit back and put the shots out from the back line if you need to. And then we get on to Air Observer number 2, also with 3 men.
So much infiltration going on here, and multiple small units. MSU for the win. Yeah. And
1 scout car. And then our recce. So this is where it gets really cheesy. Not that it's not already. So this is a veteran platoon commander with 3 guys with rifles, with the Rangers rule, and mounted.
Oh my God! How did
Yeah.
you mount your Rangers? You bought Filipino scouts.
Because you buy Filipino scouts.
You buy a recce unit. It only has 1 mandatory unit, so you
Yep.
put Philippine scouts on horses, and all of a sudden you can put your Rangers on horses.
You can
Yeah,
upgrade
yes,
them to Rangers, and
It is as corny as it looks, but
Yeah,
I do have the models. So what you
Yes.
see is what you get. I've got, and you'll see that in a bit.
yeah. And then we come on to Air Observer number 3. This guy's on his own, but he is also mounted because he's an HQ option.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he is.
And then
Absolutely.
yeah, we've finally just got to the basics. So we have an inexperienced platoon commander, a regular HMG, 2 of those.
Yeah.
And then armored platoon, we've got HMG Recce Jeep. And that should be it, I think.
That should be it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay.
no
and we
tanks.
even have an image
No
of that
tanks.
at some point in our chat. Let me just find that for you.
So me and Phil at an early stage decided we were not taking tanks. We were going to try, because everyone else was. So we want to try and do something different. And we've come up with different ways of trying to deal with our.
It's just above the display board, Bo.
Is it?
Yeah. Just keep going up from there. Keep going up.
Ah, there we
go. Right.
So this is Vietnam War themed, right?
Yeah, it's the Vinh Dong village in Apocalypse Now. The helicopters are just for decoration. But they're going to go above the armored units. But what I've done is, so that's the complete army there, and you can see the cavalry. One of them's on the
air
surfboard.
cav. Yeah.
The air cav.
Yeah. So they're all 68 models. But what I've done as well is, if you click a couple more pictures back, I've also got this as a World War II. So there you go. That's the World War II version, which is a Marine Corps in Philippines 45. And that's how it started, and that's where we ended. But I love the Vietnam list. But if anyone kicks off and says, "Oh, it's not World War II," I can just swap in a World War II list. That's got exactly the same.
It's exactly the same
play out.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, just different models. So,
but
it should be a bit of fun. The airstrikes, if you manage them carefully, are pretty nasty.
They're brutal. Yeah.
But there are opponents like Phil's list where you have to accept very early you will not be calling in airstrikes. And then that's where Bo's right. Those infantry units become just infiltrators because the airstrikes are gone. So
infiltrators with a little bit of extra headache. That's more or less it, right?
Well, unlikely though, because it's very hit or miss, that list. If your opponent's got good AA, you're not getting your airstrikes in, given the rules. So you just have to accept that. Don't even bother trying, and just use them as infiltrators.
Yeah, as Russ said a moment ago, we both, Russ and I, decided very early on we weren't going to take tanks. So we were obviously going to take an armored platoon, but we weren't going to take tanks. I've got I don't know how many HMGs in my list. Likewise with Russ.
A lot.
So even if we come up against a lot of armor, unless it's veteran, we can still pin them. Then obviously Russ is leaning into the airstrikes to deal with stuff. I'm leaning into engineers and scout cars, so I can put pins on the way in and then deal with it, force some morale check with the flamethrower if it hits, and so on. So yeah, we'll see how they get on.
Yep, we will. Well, I might just have to have you guys come back and tell me later on, once the tournament is done. Thank you so much for coming on and letting us know all about what's happening. Really nice that all the stats are in, and it was nice talking to you guys about your experience as list checkers as well, and what stood out. I like that we didn't pick out the top 5 lists, because that's typically what I end up talking about all the time, right? But actually we did some of the weird and wonderful things that people are doing in a broader spectrum, which is really cool. Any final thoughts on what is going to happen during this weekend?
Russ is going to come unstuck when he comes up against anyone with AA. Yeah, and I'm going to regret taking no tanks. But no, it's so I went last year for the first time to the GT. It was a great experience. There are some really themed lists. There are some wonderful lists there, and there's also some very, very finely tuned lists in the hands of some very capable players. So it will be an experience, you know, at both ends of the table, and then in the middle, hopefully people are going to have fun as well. So
so just from me as well, I'd just say, first of all, hat tip to our Unicum, because he's been running the airstrike list and trying to make them work as well. And so we've chatted on that and discussed what to do. And he was like, why take 2 when you can take 3? So true words. And the other thing, I guess, if people want to ask questions, if they put them in the YouTube chat, in the video,
in the comments, please.
If I can, I will give you answers if you've got any questions. And the list is out there. The lists are out there and available. Maybe we can post a link as well.
I will post the link in the description for the video. Right. That is it for us today. Good luck to you guys for the tournament. And we'll see you another time.
Brilliant. Cheers, Bo. Thank you.
Cheers.